believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Christian D. Larson. There are moments on the journey of life when what knocks a person down is never the weight of adversity, but the very instant they unwittingly allow doubt to creep into their minds. Even a mountain towering into the clouds cannot halt the steps of a soul determined to conquer it. Yet a single fleeting thought of, "I can't," is enough to turn flat ground into a bottomless abyss. The most formidable enemy rarely shows a clear face, often lurking deep within vague fears, self-doubt, and the quiet denials repeated daily by the mind. Therefore, the first and most glorious victory in a person's life is always the victory over oneself. Many mistakenly believe that believing in oneself means viewing oneself as perfect or never stumbling. But in truth, it is the quiet composure to acknowledge present shortcomings while remaining steadfast in the belief that one possesses the full potential to learn, transform, and grow. A tiny seed bears no resemblance to a giant ancient tree, yet deep within it lies the beating heart of an entire forest. The only difference lies in time, patience, and the nurturing conditions required for that dormant power to awaken. Humanity is no different. Each of us carries within vast realms of potential that even we have yet to explore. Hardships do not exist to label you as weak, but to awaken the extraordinary inner strength sleeping within. Life places before us countless formidable walls that seem completely impenetrable. Some turn back and give up the moment they catch sight of a high wall. Yet others look at that very same wall and view it as a measure to test their willpower. That stark difference lies not in the height of the obstacle, but in the lens through which each person views it. A tempest may snap fragile, withered branches, but it serves as the very catalyst that forces the roots of an ancient tree to anchor deeper into the earth. Challenges are a sacred fire. They not only consume fear, but also forge fortitude, helping us rise stronger and prouder after emerging from every storm. The human mind possesses a truly miraculous quality. It continuously seeks pieces of reality to reinforce whatever belief you choose to hold. If you are convinced you are helpless, your mind will weave countless persuasive reasons for you to stop. But if you hold fast to the belief that you can take one more step, wisdom will unfold, revealing solutions, opportunities, and energy you have never reached before. Belief is like brilliant sunshine behind gloomy clouds. The sun never stops shining. Our eyes are merely temporarily obscured by thick haze. The power hidden within you is the same. It is never lost when you fail, only briefly clouded by fear and doubt. Remember, every masterpiece or great achievement in human history began with an ordinary person possessing an extraordinary belief. They triumphed, not because their path was paved with roses, but because they refused to let hardship dictate the value of their existence. When you courageously place faith in yourself, you awaken to realize the greatest limitation was never external circumstances, but an invisible barrier constructed by your own mind. And the moment that barrier shatters, you will feel a resilient fire within, bright enough to illuminate any dark night and consume every challenge. As long as you hold fast to that belief, no storm will be strong enough to extinguish your yearning to reach greater heights. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. Steve Jobs. Every creature on earth is bestowed with the same priceless asset, time. The The splendid difference between individuals lies not in having more or less time, but in what we choose to breathe our soul into along that journey. Work is not merely a means to earn an income for daily life. It is a vessel for dreams, passion, talent, and an indelible personal imprint. If waking up each morning is merely to fulfill forced obligations in despair, life soon becomes a lifeless loop where joy is replaced by exhaustion and the zest for living is eroded by reluctant sighs. True satisfaction never comes from numbers on a paycheck, polite praise, or fancy titles on a business card. It ignites the moment you realize that the work you do carries profound meaning. It is the quiet joy of seeing every effort sow seeds of value, knowing each overcome trial leaves behind a wiser version of yourself, and watching the ultimate outcome illuminate the beliefs you hold dear. A devoted mason sees the silhouette of a home in every brick. A soulful painter gives wings to an entire universe in every brushstroke. A dedicated teacher beholds a bright future in the eyes of a child. What creates greatness lies not in the title of a profession, but in the wholehearted devotion we pour into every small task. So many spend a lifetime tirelessly chasing happiness on distant shores, forgetting that happiness naturally sprouts from how we approach our daily work. If work is viewed as a heavy burden to carry, each passing hour will drag endlessly like barefoot steps across a scorching desert. But if you transform it into a realm of creativity, contribution, and self-refinement, every new day becomes an eagerly anticipated journey of fulfillment. It is one's attitude toward life that governs emotion, not the innate nature of the work itself. Life is like a master artisan meticulously sculpting their own image, with every workday acting as a strike of the chisel upon the stone of destiny. Some only grow weary, watching the stone dust fall away in discontent, while others see clearly the outline of a masterpiece slowly emerging through quiet perseverance. Great work is rarely waiting ready-made at the starting line. It is forged by ordinary people endowed with an extraordinary spirit. It is burning faith, devotion, and unwavering perseverance that elevate the ordinary into enduring worth. Do not let life pass in regret simply because you devoted too many years to pursuits you did not truly believe in. Courageously venture forth, seek, learn, and continuously push your limits so that every workday becomes a day lived with pride. When you truly love what you do, work ceases to be a burden of responsibility and becomes fertile ground that nurtures passion and affirms self-worth. So that one day, looking back on the journey, you realize the greatest success lies not in accumulated wealth, but in having lived a life wholly aligned with what you deemed worthy. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Henry Ford. Life rarely lays out a smooth path, but what truly brings a person down is not the scale of difficulty, but the direction of their gaze. When the mind remains intently focused on the goal, adversity is merely a bumpy stretch to traverse. But when your gaze strays from the destination and becomes fixed on obstacles ahead, fear swells like a dark cloud, obscuring belief and causing you to forget why you ever began. That distraction of mind unwittingly turns small pebbles into towering mountains, transforming a headwind into a storm that threatens to engulf everything. The human mind is like a magnifying glass. It magnifies whatever receives your undivided attention. If every day you dwell only on thoughts of failure, fear of criticism, or obsession with loss, life immediately unfolds as a dark, dead-end maze. On the contrary, when you keep your eyes locked on your dreams and the true value you wish to contribute, existing difficulties lose the power to manipulate your mind. They naturally shrink into lessons and necessary trials to forge your character as you press forward. Imagine a sailor rowing across the vast heart of the ocean. If he focuses solely on the roaring waves threatening to swallow his vessel, terror will make his hands tremble, and the boat lose its course. But if he steadfastly fixes his eyes on the distant lighthouse, every wave becomes merely an inevitable rhythm of the sea. Life's purpose is that very lighthouse, a compass keeping us from being swept away amidst the tempests of failure, pressure, or doubt. The most dangerous threat is not the presence of trial, but allowing that trial to consume the entirety of your thoughts. Then, the mind automatically weaves endless negative scenarios that you lack talent, lack luck, or that circumstances are against you. Such thoughts are like shadows in a closed room. They possess no substance or power of their own, yet can imprison you unless you courageously throw open the window to let the light pour in. All great pages of history were written by souls who kept their vision firmly fixed ahead. They were not immune to failure, pressure, or moments of discouragement, but their defining difference was refusing to let adversity become the centerpiece of their lives. They viewed obstacles as stepping stones, with each step taken revealing a more radiant version of themselves. An arrow can only fly forward when precisely aimed at the target. If it wavers in fear of the wind, it will never reach its destination. Therefore, whenever the obstacle ahead seems overwhelming, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I focusing on the destination or drowning in fear? The answer will shape your next step. When your gaze remains steadily fixed on your dream, willpower will overpower circumstance, faith will shatter doubt, and every challenge will merely be a brushstroke enriching your journey of growth. The greatest barrier never arises from the outside. It emerges only when you lose sight of where you truly wish to go. Success is not what you have, but who you are. Bennett. People often spend their entire lives endlessly pursuing tangible values, wealth, status, fame, or power. They mistakenly believe that the more they accumulate, the brighter the trophy of success will shine. But in truth, all of those are merely fleeting gifts that time temporarily places in your hands. They come and go like the rising and falling tides. The only thing that remains steadfast and defines a person's true worth is character, dignity, and the fortitude to face life's ups and downs. Enduring success has never been measured by what you hold in your hands, but by the depth of character you attain through countless experiences and choices. A majestic tree is not valued by the lush green leaves that blossom in a warm spring, but by its deep roots silently anchoring into Mother Earth. When storms sweep across the forest, it is those hidden roots that determine the tree's survival. Humans are no different. Material possessions are like foliage changing with the seasons, whereas character, resilience, and wisdom form the roots that sustain a lifetime. If your inner strength is deep enough, you can rebuild everything from the ashes. But if you are hollow within, then even atop a mountain of wealth, you will live in constant fear of losing what was never part of your true essence. There are those who possess vast fortunes, yet carry souls full of resentment, famous far and wide, yet lonely deep inside, holding power, yet gaining no genuine respect. Conversely, there are humble souls who choose simplicity, yet every step they take radiates serenity and inspiring positivity to the world. That subtle difference stems not from the balance of wealth, but from the realm of values emanating from within. A heart filled with love, an honest character, an untainted resolve, and a compassionate attitude hold far greater power to move lives than any grand castle or material wealth. Life holds an intriguing philosophy. It often tests you by taking away what you hold to see what truly remains. Some lose their fortune and instantly shed their faith. Others stumble once and allow their souls to become corrupted. Yet, there are characters who, after every battering storm, emerge calmer, braver, and brighter. It is precisely in the crucible of adversity that human nature is truly revealed. Just as pure gold must pass through fire to become refined, human dignity is truly forged through days of hardship. Material possessions attract fleeting attention, but the quality of who you are commands eternal respect. True success is not standing on a high pedestal, looking down on others, but feeling pride and peace when looking in the mirror each night. It is maintaining kindness amidst a scheming world, upholding honesty against temptations of glory, and nurturing compassion even after enduring pain. These noble qualities do not magically bloom overnight. They are the fruit of thousands of right choices made every day. Ultimately, all wealth will fade, and all titles will dim with time. But character, wisdom, and the beautiful values you sow in others will echo through eternity. Therefore, devote more energy to cultivating your inner self rather than chasing external possessions. Enrich your soul before enriching your wallet. For when you become a radiant soul, success is no longer something you feverishly pursue. It becomes a natural fragrance emanating from your life. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Suzy Kassem. Failure is never the final period, closing a dream. History proves that countless great minds stumbled tens or hundreds of times before touching glory. What truly buries a dream is not painful falls along the race, but the moment one lets doubt creep into the heart. When faith falters, willpower quickly erodes. When willpower fades, action grinds to a halt. And when all movement stops, the dream quietly dies without needing any external resistance. Doubt is like an invisible termite. It doesn't tear down a house during a storm, but silently hollows out every beam from within. By the time the structure collapses, people see only the rubble outside, forgetting the root cause that sprouted long ago in the dark. The human mind functions the same way. A single lingering thought, am I good enough? What if I fail? Or, perhaps this isn't meant for me, is enough to plant the seeds of surrender. Repeated often, these toxic questions construct an invisible iron cage, imprisoning immense potential before you even step into the light to try. A bitter failure offers a priceless lesson to do better next time. But if you let doubt manipulate you, you lose all courage to start anew even once. Like a ship resting safely in the harbor, if it never dares to set sail for fear of rough seas, it will never discover its power to cross vast oceans. Likewise, human potential truly blossoms only when we courageously step beyond the boundary of false security. Life is constantly interwoven with voices of doubt. At times, they are discouraging words from the outside, but most cruel of all is the quiet whisper coming from within yourself. It is the voice that exaggerates difficulties, suffocates ability, and endlessly whispers that you are not perfect enough. If nurtured too long, you will define your own limits before life even hands you a test. The tragic reality is that countless dreams were never defeated on life's path. Their creators simply let go right at the starting line. Remember, no one is born perfect or instantly prepared for every storm in life. Those who reach the peak do so not because they feel no fear, but because they refuse to let fear take the wheel of their destiny. They understand that every long stride begins with a spark of faith, and every glorious achievement is built upon brave steps taken even when the future is uncertain. They welcome failure as a guiding mentor rather than an excuse to retreat. A dream does not demand that you have all the answers, nor does it require perfection from the very first step. The only thing it hungers for is the steadfast courage to move forward, even when your steps tremble. Failure at most slows you down a beat, but doubt can rob you of an entire journey. Water your faith instead of feeding your fears, for when you place complete trust in yourself, every rough patch turns into a foothold. Every fall becomes a solid foundation, and each resolute step will lead you to the brilliant life you have always yearned for.